Thank you. No, I'm really excited to be here. My name is Jessica, and I started YouTubing about 2 years ago. I started Flight Eats Show. So I'm a flight attendant, and while I was having layovers and on my different work trips, I decided, what are the things that I'm most excited about, especially when I'm traveling, and food is a huge part of that. And so I decided, let me start to showcase some of the restaurants that I go to, all the little fun eateries that I tend to visit. And then I also was like, let me also add another aspect where I interview different people at these places. And so it was like a combination of doing, just like enjoying this great food, but also kind of getting these gems from different dope, like entrepreneurs, artists, musicians, whoever I felt like, could value the platform. So that was going well. COVID happened. And so I had to kind of pivot because I wasn't able to, actually go to restaurants anymore, be around everyone, unfortunately, at the capacity that I would have loved to have. So I then started to do the same aspect, but then kind of on Instagram, but then cooking my own food because I was still kind of weary about purchasing food out due to COVID. And then people started to kind of really take to the meals that I was making. And I was like, okay, so this might be a good idea. Let me go ahead and create another segment of my YouTube channel where I call Flight Eats Kitchen, which is kind of just like an addendum to Flight Show, but it's just me having my own little cooking show and showcasing my recipes and just having fun in the kitchen. And so that's where I am now. I'm kind of really pushing that part of the channel. I'm still doing the interview portion on Instagram Live, but as far as my YouTube is concerned, it's primarily right now just like my fun cooking segment. Oh man, the journey it's a long one. Someone gave me really great advice. I call her my YouTube guru, TJ Lee. She has a great channel, a huge platform on YouTube, Cup of TJ. And she let me know pretty quickly, like, listen, if you want to do YouTube, you have to be ready for this long haul journey. It's not just an overnight, even things can go viral, but if you want it to be successful and for it to have integrity, you kind of have to make sure that you're ready to have patience. And that was like a huge part in the beginning, because you think you can post a video and it's like, oh, that's it, I'm famous, I'm YouTube famous. And it's like, no, 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 no. There's a lot more, a whole lot more to that. So my journey at first was just, I had to overcome the fear of just putting myself out there, of, creating a product that I felt like, sometimes can be a little not uneasy, but kind of confusing for people because it's not a tangible service. I'm really trying to entertain you and I'm trying to, I feel like I'm giving you gems and all these great things. And so I just was focused on what my goal was. Right. So why did I want to start YouTube? What's the reason? Was it because I want to become famous, or is it because I really feel like the things that I'm showing is going to be of value to people? And so I kind of made sure that that is what stayed in my brain, like what is important, and it shouldn't be chasing, the exposure, because exposure is so, flimsy. It's not something that sometimes can last, so I want a career essentially, right? And so I just felt like, all right, let me focus on what my goal is. Let me figure out what brand I'm trying to build, what I'm trying to say, what's my voice on YouTube that's going to set me apart, and just kind of trust in that and rely on that, and not, my biggest fear in the beginning was I didn't want to sound like the everyday YouTuber. I kept telling my friends, like, if I say, hey guys, like, just take me off right now. I'm like, I don't speak like that. That's not me. I want to make sure I sound like Jessica. And I think slowly that started to really resonate with people. And to be honest, especially in the past few months, the consistency, putting out content on a consistent level, that helps people realize that you're committed. And so now I'm going to commit to you because I see that you're committed to actually providing content on a regular basis, if that makes sense. I think there's two things. I think, like I said, being redundant, consistency is a huge thing. You have to be consistent. You can't you thinking that your content is just so fascinating that people are just going to be waiting around until the next thing. you know, you have to keep up with the fact that everyone's attention span is like this. So you need to be able to continue to produce, right? And also just authenticity. Um, like I said, I feel like the more that I leaned into myself, the more that I felt comfortable, the more that my personality can come out, the more that people are like, she's kind of cool, she's a little funny, she's a little weird, but that's okay because you're really seeing me, you know, there's no way you can compare me to another person because you're really getting the real me. And so I think that helps people relate to me and make them feel like I'm their friend in their head or whatever it is, so that they can keep like on with these recipes. You know, if I mess up on a recipe, I'm like, oh man, guys, I don't think this is good. You know, but that's realistic. That's reality. Everyone's not going to be top chef in the kitchen as much as we would like to be, you know? So I think those are the main things. You have to remain authentic and you have to be consistent. Well, I'll be lying if I didn't say I want to be monetizing. I will be lying if I didn't say I want, you know, thousands of subscribers. And I feel like I'm slowly getting there. You know, like I said, the confidence level in what I'm bringing has really made me feel like, okay, things are moving forward in a real way. And so I think in a year, I'll definitely be monetizing from my content. I believe that I'll definitely have a lot more subscribers, of course, which is always, you know, a beautiful exchange. And you know, sponsorship and partnerships and just like being able to bring items to people that they probably didn't think of, or maybe they're like, well, I wouldn't buy it until I seen someone use it, or you know, just what, because that's how I am. I'm like, well, what's going on? Like, so yeah, I think those are the main things. I just want growth, you know, and I want it to be authentic and I want it to be organic. And I'm okay if it takes a little bit longer. So I feel like in a year I'm gonna see exactly what I need. Just do it. It took me a year before I even posted my first video. My mind was thinking about it. I was, you know, creating a YouTube journey in my brain and how amazing it was gonna be, but I didn't have one video uploaded, you know? And it's scary. There's so much out there and you feel like you have to feel like you're comparing yourself. And I understand all those fears, but you have to allow your fears to be your motivator sometimes. And just be like, you know, I'm scared about this, but in spite of my fear, I'm going to make this happen because it makes me happy. And even if you connect with just one person on that first upload, trust and believe in yourself that it is going to move forward and it's going to grow. I still can't believe how far I've come because I remember at one point how stagnant I was. And I was just like, well, like, what am I doing this for? You know, and it's easy. You're all human. I understand that. But you have to just put yourself out there. And it was brought in your mind for a reason. So just go with your gut, go with your intuition, and know that no one else is you. So you can go ahead and, like, you know, start that journey.